What's up everybody, my name is Zach Hartley and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to be talking about everything that has to do with trend lines, everything you need to know in order to understand them, draw them, and make your buy and sell decisions using them. Now all the footage you're about to see actually comes from my course on stock market basics, so if you're interested at all in learning more about the market, how it works, or how to make money in it, definitely check out the links in the description below. But without any further ado, let's get right into trend lines, and if you get any value out of this video, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Let's get right into it. Hey everybody, my name is Zach Hartley and today we're diving into the charts. We're going into technical analysis and we're looking at trend lines. Now, what is a trend line? A trend line is connecting the higher low points on a chart to form a line of support or resistance. What do I mean by that? I mean literally drawing a line on the chart to establish where the price has support. And by support, I mean it's not going to drop below X amount. By resistance, I mean it's not going to go above X amount. So let's see what that actually looks like in practice. We are going to look at the Tesla chart. Now this is just a screenshot of it. I'm going to go into my internet browser so we can start to draw on it. So I'm using stockcharts.com. You can go to the website, just type in TSLA and it'll pull up a chart where you can start to play with the exact same tools I'm using here. So this is the same chart that we saw in my PowerPoint, and now all I'm going to do is click on the word annotate and it's going to let me draw on this chart. So we're talking about trend lines and we're talking about connecting the high and low points. So all I'm going to do now is start to draw a couple of lines and I'm going to talk you through what's going through my head when I look at this chart. So on the left here, we're coming in, we're seeing a little bit of a bearish pattern. We have one high, the next high is a little bit lower than this, and it looks like we're just basically coming into a bearish pattern. And then we hit a low point right here. Now, this is kind of a good sign because the next points after that are higher, a little bit lower, and then higher than the previous high. Now, what that means is that it looks like we're probably seeing a trend reversal. We're going from a bearish pattern coming in to a bullish pattern going out. So I'm going to mark this as our low point. At a quick glance through the rest of the chart, I can see we also have a low point over here in April. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line right here. And now I can say we have a line of support at about that $180 price level where the price has come down and tested it and it has bounced back and it looks like it comes down and tests it again. So first things first, I look at this chart, I say, okay, we've got support at 180. Now what happens? So we've come in here, we've tested that 180 line, and now we've got basically an upward pattern here, a bullish pattern where I'd say this stock is trading within a channel of resistance and support, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. So we'll move this a little bit like that, a little bit like that, and I'd say, okay, we've established a channel here where this price is moving up and down within this channel, and all of that looks pretty good. We're in a bullish pattern. Even a little bit of change in that stock isn't changing the general trend upwards, so that's really good. That's what we want to see here. Now, what we are going to notice here in this month here is that the price crosses back through that line of support. It tested it at the low, it tested it again 2 months later, and now it tested it once, it bounced up a little bit, and it has crossed through that line of support. It has broken the line of support, and that means that we are seeing a change in the trend. We are no longer within that channel upwards. So we have got a new trend forming. It's time to draw a new trend line. I'm going to take my little marker, I'm going to draw a new trend line and connect the tops here, and it looks like we've got one high, two high, three high, four highs where we are testing out a line of resistance right here, and we'll connect the last low to this low here, and we've also got two more down here, and we've got a new channel forming in this stock here. So what's really great is we had a clear line where it was moving upwards, we've got a clear channel where it's moving downwards, and it's been really easy to map this out literally by connecting the dots of the highs and lows. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. We've got a clear channel, and that price is now moving in a downward trend through that channel in a bearish trend, just like where we started. Now what's kind of cool is we can see that price come down and almost test that 180 level. It comes back up and it pushes up against the support level twice, and then it comes all the way back down and it tests that 180 level. The price touches that $180 level now. And now why this is kind of important is because in the real world, in the real market, what's probably happening is a lot of traders, a lot of people, and a lot of investors have it set in their systems where if Tesla hits $180, I'm going to buy it. just because at $180, I think you can't go wrong with it, and it's a great value company. So I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to just leave that trade in there. And that could be what's happening. It could also be that people are making that decision the day that it hits 180. But what's happening is at 180, people feel like it's a great company, and that's why we're seeing support established in the chart. So we're going through March, we're going through April, we test that 180 level, we see a little bit of a bounce back, and then we see a big movement up from 180 all the way to that 200 mark, and then consistently up to that 210 mark, all the way through, breaking through that line of resistance. And that is glorious. That is exactly what we want to see, because that indicates a change in trend. Now we are moving upwards in the charts, we are out of that bearish pattern, and it is time to possibly make a buying opportunity. So we're breaking through, and we fall a little bit by a couple of percentage, almost back to 200, but that low here is much higher than our previous high, so we still have confidence. If you waited a couple more days, you're at 210, 220, and the stock is clearly established a new channel. It is time to buy that stock if you haven't already, and it's time to ride out that wave. Now, this is a really nice chart because it clearly shows those two channels, and it shows your perfect buying opportunity, which is located right there. So if you had this on your chart, if you had this mapped out in your system, if you were watching this stock every day, you would have known, okay, it just broke through that line of resistance. It even tested it at the end of May here. It is time to buy this stock. This is the perfect opportunity. And if you did it, you could have had returns all the way up like that, which would have been just phenomenal. Not only that, but Tesla later hit $400, and just this year hit $900. So in the matter of just a couple of years, what is it, 2015 to 2020, you could have made at least 300-400% on your stock. So great opportunity here. Just one thing that we wanted to show you, and one great example. I've got one more here. This is Shopify. This is a really great stock. It's an internet stock out of Canada. It's basically being our unicorn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to annotate it, and I'm going to walk you through the exact same thing. So this one's a little bit different. We're coming in basically on a high. We're coming in on a bullish trend. We're looking good, and then all of a sudden we kind of break through this line of support, and our next couple highs here are nowhere near higher than they were before. So we are now trading in basically a horizontal channel that looks something like this. It's the exact same idea as what we were in before, where it was a channel that was going vertically like this, but now it's just completely horizontal. It's completely stagnant. Nothing is happening to this price. And you know what? This just happens from time to time in stocks. If no news is coming out, financials aren't due for a while, the industry's a little bit slow, nothing big is happening, this is totally normal. A stock can just trade like this for even sometimes years. So you got to be aware of it, and when you can recognize it, it gives you a great opportunity to trade that stock when it breaks up or down, from this channel. So let's look at what it's about to do here. This is really neat to see, and it's a really good opportunity. So stock's coming in, okay, it's broken through this line of support and resistance. We've got one peak here, we've got two peaks here, and now we've got one peak, one bottom, one low point here, and another one right after it. So at this point here, you could clearly say we're trading within a channel. You draw out these two lines, and now you're all set to go. Another couple months goes by, you're still within that channel, and then all of a sudden you get this one big day right here. Where's my little circle tool? You get this one big day right here that changes everything. How do I move that up? You can see it, this one big white day right here. And that is like, holy cow, we have just broken out of this channel. We are just moving up. Something's about to happen. And if you saw this as a buy signal and you're willing to put your money into it, it could have given you some great returns, because this stock went from $40 to over $94 in less than a year. Less than 6 months, this stock doubled in price. So you were getting 100% return in less than 6 months, because you were able to identify the trading pattern that this stock was in, draw the trend lines on it appropriately, recognize the signal when it broke free out of this trend line, and then capitalized on the gains above that, and you would have done phenomenally well. Even if you had got in at $50 here and then it got to $94, you would have made $45 on your $50 trade. So pretty close to 100%, even if you got in a week and a half after you saw that after you saw that breakthrough. You could have waited for more and more confidence and you still would have done phenomenally well. So this trend line methodology and these patterns, and what you're looking for here is connecting the highs and lows, trying to establish what channel you're in, whether it's bullish, bearish, or it's horizontal, and then as soon as you break that support or resistance, that's when your opportunity to make a trade identifies itself. So 2 really good charts here, really exciting things. A couple more things just to finish it off. So here's the Tesla chart we looked at with the big gains on the right side. The Shopify chart here where it went from $40 to $94 just by identifying the horizontal trading pattern. And the last couple things I want to touch on are that these trading patterns and these channels can go in horizontal or directional patterns, and you can also just establish horizontal lines of support and resistance based on price levels. Now, the more times that the price tests the support or resistance, the stronger the support or resistance is. What I mean by that is if your Tesla stock is testing that $180 price level 3 times and it still hasn't broken down below that 180 level, that's probably a very strong 180 support level. Now, assuming that the company's still doing well and the strategic plan is still operating, then you should be totally fine. Now, so I would be looking for an opportunity on the upside in that case. Now, I do have to say that these patterns and these indicators are not always perfect, and they're not always exact. If your company reports bad financials in the middle of your trend, things are going to change. If you're Boeing and you have 2 planes crash in the matter of 6 months, things are going to drastically change. So they're not always perfect, they're not always exact, and the price levels are always off by 5 or 10%. So you're never going to be able to draw the perfect line that connects all the dots exactly. So what you're looking for is patterns and channels and trends here, and then trying to identify the trading opportunities based on when it breaks through those support and resistance lines. So if you have any questions, send me an email, zhartley@hotmail.ca. Otherwise, I'm going to dive into this and I'm going to be using this tool for the rest of the videos throughout the course. So please stay tuned. This is a very important one and you should try and practice this whenever you can. Thanks.